Good morning, everybody. Hope you are all having a great day. I would encourage you all to tune in to our great classes this week. Allie's teaching this week, and there are other great things, so check it out. Also on Sunday, we are going to have a session with Tamir Goodman, the Jewish Jordan, as they call him. He is truly remarkable and has a great story that will be very inspiring for everybody, especially younger people also. I just want to go back a little bit to Rabbi Akiva and share with you a couple of stories that I don't think I've told you about regarding his incredible optimism. We spoke about where his optimism comes from, the fact that he had somebody who he looked up to who believed in him, and that was his wife, Rachel. But there are many stories that underscore his incredible belief and his ability to see the good in a situation. There was one story where one of his students was very ill, and he went to visit this student, and other students were there too. And when the students saw how sick he was, they were crying. And Rabbi Akiva came into the room, and he looked joyful. And they said to him, "Rebbe, how is it possible that you're joyful at this moment?" And he said, "How is it possible that you're sad at this moment?" And he explained. He said, "When I came in here and I saw how much pain and how much suffering my student is going through, I realized that all of his reward and all of his pleasure must have been stored up for him in the world to come." And that filled me with joy. There's another story, similar. It talks about Rabbi Akiva with some of his colleagues walking in the area where the temple stood. This was right after the temple was destroyed by the Romans. Rabbi Akiva lived in that generation when the temple was destroyed. He lived through that experience, the most brutal, horrible experience in Jewish history, perhaps even as devastating as many of the other terrible events in Jewish history. Millions of Jews were killed and exiled. And Rabbi Akiva was walking with his colleagues, and they saw an animal scurrying out of the area that was once the Holy of Holies. And his colleagues were filled with devastation and sadness and depression. And Rabbi Akiva, again, was filled with joy. How can you be joyful at a moment like this? Well, look at this. And he said, there's a prophecy that says that your temple would be plowed into fields and animals would be scurrying around. And there are other prophecies that say that this place will eventually be rebuilt into its former glory. Now that I see that the first prophecy has been fulfilled, I can have hope that the second prophecy is going to be fulfilled as well. This was what Rabbi Akiva was all about. Never getting down, never getting depressed, but always looking for the good, taking a different perspective than everybody else. We read in the Passover Haggadah that the sages all came to Bnei Brak to have that Seder and be by Rabbi Akiva. Why do you think they went to Rabbi Akiva for the Seder? This was the first year after the temple had been destroyed. Can you imagine trying to make a Pesach Seder? This is like the first Passover after the Holocaust. People were broken, destroyed, devastated. How do you make a Passover Seder when the temple has been destroyed? You can't even do the most fundamental part of Passover, which is bringing the Korban Pesach, the Passover offering. And there's no way they could get through this experience unless they had the comfort, the optimism of Rabbi Akiva. So they all flocked to Bnei Brak to be by Rabbi Akiva at this brutal time. I think we can take the lesson of Rabbi Akiva, apply it to our lives right now. We know there are good things that are coming out of all this. We don't know what they are, but there have to be good things. We got to focus on them and stay focused. And if we do, I think Rabbi Akiva's optimism will get us through these difficult times. Have a great day, everybody.